calling. I said I love you forever. We can make it together. What goes up must come down. There's lots of friendly faces all around.
I'll pay by card.
Ja, even.
Voor de lunch, maar die spullen in huis.
Dank u, alsjeblieft. En dan is deze voor u.
Thank you.
U wilde nog geen bestek, hè? Zie ik. Zo.
zitten.
Yeah, there are companies try to make.
Het ziet er helemaal heel anders uit. Excuses, ik zeg het zelf fout.
Dankjewel.
Always outside.
Dank je voor het goede moment. Spreekt het Nederlands?
Flight time today is 55 minutes. Just before landing, my colleague will get back to you with the exact time of arrival and the further update. Until then, I wish you a very pleasant stay.
The fasten seatbelt sign will be switched off soon. However, we recommend to keep your seatbelt fastened while seated.
Cabin crew, take your seats.
Take me to the ruins, aquifers and springs, baby ferns uncurling, every living thing. Be to me a mother, both hands on the wheel.
Pardon?
Vous avez habité en Philippines aussi?
Oui, oui, nous avons un appartement là. That's not very good. And then he went, okay. But I would take a wider angle. In some countries, the provinces get money from the government. Waterworks, you know, the maintenance of all the systems to keep the land dry. Dankjewel.
Weet je nog wat er allemaal in zit? Of
Ja.
is het allemaal verrassing?
Ik heb het zo vaak in mijn handen gehad.
Oh, oké. Ja.
As we move, yeah. Foundation Empire Second. Oh, this time again. Such a good story.
This one.
What about?
Raymond van het Groene Woud met 2 mei. Van
It's just good for